Welcome everybody, my name is Melissa and today's practice is called Bone Tired. And so this is a practice for when you're feeling really fatigued, when you don't really feel like moving or doing anything at all, but we want to make sure that we don't necessarily get any bed sores. So we do want to get out of bed a little bit. And we're going to do some really gentle movement here to get our body just kind of feeling a little bit softer, feeling a little bit more expansive and open. And then we'll work to bring our vitality, our energy up just a little bit with our meditation practice. And so for this practice, you will need a chair, a stool works great, a coffee table, something that you can put your legs up on. So specifically, we're going to want our calves on the back of, or on the seat of our chair. And then you'll also need your blocks. These are going to be to support us later. And then we will also need a blanket to sit on. And so we're going to start really nice and comfy here with our legs up the chair. And so we're going to just start with stillness at the beginning of our practice today, since likely you're not feeling like moving a lot anyway. And so we're going to turn to face toward our chair or stool, whatever we're using, and you can place your arms behind you and then swing your legs up so that from the knee down is supported on the chair. So if your heels hang off a little bit, that's totally okay, but we want to make sure that the backs of the knees are supported here so that our calves can be lightly compressed. And then you can come down onto your forearms first, and then maybe scoot your hips forward towards the legs of the chair a little bit, and slowly come down the rest of the way onto your back. Now, it can feel really nice here to have a blanket for your head. You may want to adjust it slightly so that you have support directly underneath the back of your neck, trying to keep the forehead a little bit higher than the chin. And we want to allow our legs to relax here. So you may notice that your knees want to separate just a little bit naturally as the hips kind of relax into the hip joint. So take a moment and get your body settled. You might want to kind of adjust a little bit. If you've got a wedgie, pull out your wedgie. You can adjust your pants, your shirt, your hair. Take the time that you need to allow your body to rest undisturbed. And so as you feel comfortable, your arms can open up wide beside you. Maybe the palms face up towards the ceiling. Or if it feels most comfortable, maybe rest one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. If you would like, your eyes can close, or you can soften your gaze. Beginning to settle into position. Take a moment to scan your awareness through your body and notice if there's tension anywhere. You may observe that your eyebrows are furrowed or your tongue is pressed into the roof of your mouth. Or maybe your legs are gripping and trying to hold you onto the chair. As you scan your awareness through your system, see if you can allow your muscles to soften, your breath slowing, allowing your breath and body and mind to all occupy this space right here, coming together in this present moment to allow yourself to be. Cultivating a place and an opportunity to rest deeply. As you rest with your legs up the chair, tune in and focus intently on your breathing. See if you can make your breath soft, almost effortless, allowing it to be deep and full without straining or trying too hard. Notice the different places where your body is in contact with the floor. And see if you can allow your body to soften and relax more deeply onto the floor below you. Take 6 more full rounds of breath, observing the weight of your bones, allowing yourself to rest heavily on the floor. Allow each round of breath to fill and empty completely. When you've completed your 6 rounds, you can slowly release your hands if they were on your chest and belly. Maybe giving your fingers a little bit of a wiggle. You can open and close your eyes. Taking all the time that you need, no rush and no hurry here. We'll very slowly start to pull our legs in toward us. You can do one at a time. Bringing both knees in towards your chest eventually, and then maybe taking your arms around your legs. And if you have the space, you can roll a little side to side, maybe pushing your chair out of the way. Massaging your ribs a little here, moving as much or as little as you like. So really taking this however it feels best for your body. When you feel ready, allow your knees to drop all the way to one side of your body. You can stack the knees one on top of the other if you like, or use your block to help support in the space between your legs. And now from here, you can let your arms extend open, stretching them out in a T shape. You may want to adjust your head so that you have a little bit less of a pillow with your blanket if your head was too high. And then once your arms are out, you can maybe turn your head to face in the opposite direction of your knees. Or if you would like, turn and look in the same direction as your knees, whatever feels best for you at this time. Taking a couple breaths, allowing this twist to open up the low back, feeling the stretch down the outside of your leg perhaps. Letting the whole weight of your body rest on the ground. Take a breath or two more. And then as you feel comfortable, begin by bringing your head back to center on an inhale first. And then you can exhale out, maybe remove your block. And we'll use our next inhale to slowly bring the knees back to center as well. From here, you can bring your hands back around your legs and maybe just roll a little side to side. Your arms can hold on around your knees, or maybe just gently hold your shins, rocking a little or a lot, whatever feels good. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So taking your time as you feel ready, we're going to slowly drop both knees over to the left side this time. And again, your block can come in between your knees or underneath, whatever your body might need. And then we'll open our arms out in a T shape here. See if you can let both shoulders rest heavy on the earth. And then again, wherever your head may want to turn, use your preference. So maybe experiment with turning in the opposite direction of your knees. Just noticing how that may feel in your neck, in your cervical spine. Or looking in the same direction as the knees. Allowing the breath to deepen in your twist. Noticing where you experience sensation in the twist. Perhaps noticing where you may be still holding on to tension and seeing if you can let it go. Let's take 1 or 2 more rounds of breath, and again, taking all the time that you need. As you feel ready, you can begin by inhaling your head back to center first. Maybe removing the block if you would like. And then with an inhale, you can slowly bring your legs back to center. Once again, bringing your knees in towards your chest. If you want to roll a little side to side, massage out your low back. Massage across the ribs. Keeping your eyes open now, we're going to very slowly work our way up to seated. And so taking your time, roll over to the side of your choice. And we're going to press our top hand into the ground and slowly come up onto our bottom. So at this time, you can go ahead and move your chair out of the way or whatever tool you were using. And so we're now going to turn towards the short end of our mat. And we're going to come to sit on top of our shins here. And so we won't stay in this position too super long, but know that if your knees are screaming, you can bring a block underneath you so that you have some support sitting on the block like you would a bicycle seat, feeling your sits bones supported underneath you. We're going to go through a few very slow flows. And so this is a flow links our breath and our movement together. And so that's important because that's going to help create a little bit more energy for us as we go on. And so this is going to move us through some familiar postures, but just doing it very, very mindfully with our breath. And so we can start seated on our shins here, drawing up through the crown of the head, allowing our shoulders to drop away from our ears. The elbows can be heavy down towards the floor, hands resting on our thighs. Take a couple breaths, observing how you feel being upright now. Take one more breath in and out. And then with the next inhale, we're going to rise up onto the knees, extending both hands up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to take both hands down to the floor, folding forward into our child's pose, letting our bottom come back down towards the heels. Inhale now, and we're going to lift up through tabletop, coming right to cat pose. So we're going to cow pose. So lifting our chin towards the ceiling, tilting our tailbone towards the ceiling, opening up through the abdominals. And then we're going to exhale and slowly come back to child's pose. Head can come down towards the ground, hands are outstretched. And then inhaling, we're going to lift back up, standing on our knees, arms back up towards the sky. And then exhaling to slowly sit back down onto our heels, coming back to our starting position. And so that's the entire flow. We're going to go through it twice more, moving with our breath. And so stay still, take a breath in and out. And now we'll inhale, rise onto your knees, arms stretch up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly fold down, coming to your child's pose. You can let your forehead touch the mat if you like. Inhale to cow pose, moving through tabletop. Draw your heart forward through the arms, lift your chin and your tailbone. Exhale, come all the way back down to child's pose, folding forward, forehead to the floor. Inhale, extend the arms back up, standing on the knees, pressing the hips forward slightly. Exhale and slowly come back down to seated. Hands can rest on your thighs. We have one more round. If you would like to, maybe close your eyes and feel your body as you move through space on this next one. So stay where you are, take a breath in and out. Inhale, standing on the knees, arms raise up. Exhale, slowly forward folding to your child's pose. Inhaling, drawing yourself through, coming to cow pose. Exhaling back to your fold, finding child's pose. Inhale, standing on the knees, lifting the arms up. Exhale, coming back to our starting position, resting the hands on the thighs. Taking a moment to tune in, noticing how you're feeling. I'd like to do just one more round, except for this round, I'm not going to give any instruction. I would like you to move with your breath. Maybe you close your eyes as well this time, and just feel the length of your breathing and your pacing as we go. And so take a moment to pause, take a breath in and out, and then we'll go through the flow. Once you've finished, take a moment to just observe. Now you can continue to stay seated on top of your block if your knees are happy with this. And now for some folks, the tops of your feet may be screaming, the knees may be screaming. So if it does not serve you to sit like this, feel free to grab your chair and you can sit on your chair again with your feet on the floor. You can also sit on your block and simply cross your ankles, one in front of the other. Whatever feels most comfortable and supportive for you, go ahead and find that position at this time. We're going to sit for a few moments in meditation with Madhyama Mudra. And so this is a really fun gesture. This gesture helps to connect us to our vital energy. And so what we're going to do is we are going to take our middle fingers. And so this is a gesture that we're kind of used to in the world, using our middle fingers. And so what we're going to do is just simply touch the tips of the middle fingers together. And now if you have long fingernails and that doesn't feel comfortable, you can interlace the middle fingers slightly and just kind of gently pull them apart. So not like you're ripping them apart, but just kind of gently, softly pulling them away from one another. That may be more comfortable than just kind of pressing them together too, so player's choice. But we're going to keep the middle fingers touched as we relax our elbows down beside our ribs, sitting with the spine nice and tall. You can hold your hands so that they're approximately level with your belly button here. This gesture helps to optimize our digestion, so it's going to help us kind of process digestionally with our digestive tract, but it also helps us to process emotions and digest thoughts and feelings, circumstances, situations. And so this gesture is going to help bring our energy back up a little bit by restoring our digestion, by telling our body that we have enough energy to do the work that needs to be done. And so closing your eyes here, softening your gaze, whichever feels best. Find the gentle touch of your middle fingers, or that gentle pulling away if you're interlacing the middle fingers. And just take a moment to become aware of your breathing. You might feel that the breath is a little lower, almost as though it's in the mid-back area with this gesture, helping to free some space in our mid-body. If possible, try to keep your mind focused on your breathing. If you notice that your mind wanders off to other thoughts, no worries. Simply invite it back to your breath, continuing to do that same practice each time you notice that the mind has wandered. Come back to noticing the length and depth of your breath, to noticing the experience of your body breathing, maybe observing if it's more through one nostril or the other, continuing to notice and observe your breathing. As you take the next few rounds of breath, visualize yourself full of vitality, energized and capable. You may visualize yourself able to handle a situation or circumstance, maybe something to cross off your to-do list or that you know just simply needs to get done. Use this moment of breathing and meditation to visualize a circumstance you would like to create for yourself, bringing your full energy to it. Wherever you are, take this opportunity to complete your visualization, and then find an I am statement to state your intention clearly. You may use I am energized, or I am full of energy, or I feel neutral. Whatever may work for you, find that intention and repeat it in your mind, breathing into it. Take a deep breath in, and then with your exhale, slowly release your hands, and we'll join them together now in a prayer position in front of our heart. Lower your chin slightly towards your chest, feeling grateful for this time that you made to practice. That even though you may be feeling bone tired, you made it to your mat. As always, it has been my sincere honor to be your guide. Together we can acknowledge one another with Namaste.